Good evening. We are live here. So today we're going to go over some videos about this Minnesota shooting of Alex Preddy and some of the things that are going on which have caused this to happen, which have brought about these events. Currently, we have been told that he was an American citizen, that he's legally allowed to own guns, and that he shouldn't have died. That's what most of the mainstream media is going to tell you. Now, I did a video on this yesterday when it happened, and that is not what I believe transpired. I believe that he assaulted an agent on camera, and when they went to arrest him, he resisted arrest and then moved his hand in a way that would at least appear to anyone who knows someone is armed as if they are going for a gun, which he was carrying. So whether or not he was actually going for the gun, if he moved his hand in the direction of the gun and they had seen that he had a gun and you are resisting arrest, you have now become the FAFO warrior of the week. And I'm sorry to Alex Preddy. I hope I'm saying your child's name correctly. I apologize to you. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry that your child, your young man that was your child, got caught up in this chaos. I am sorry for the loss. I'm sorry that he made bad decisions. Now, let's get into some videos, because I found a couple things that I think you guys are going to find pretty interesting. This is from the National Desk. It's Border Patrol Commander Greg Bombino holding a press conference. And this happened about an hour ago. I think it was 3 hours ago now. Let's watch. Let me turn it on for you guys so you can see it.
He's also got some other records there as well. This individual remains at large today. This individual is still roaming the streets today. This is the individual on that targeted law enforcement effort that Border Patrol agents were engaged in yesterday when they were disrupted, assaulted, and prevented from conducting that Title VIII mission by individuals intent on making the choice to riot, to create anarchy, and to be a violent mob. This individual walks the streets today because of those choices made by politicians and those perhaps weaker-minded constituents that chose to follow directions of those politicians. Sad state of affairs. Now, enforcing the law is not a choice.
Sorry for the commercial, guys. But what he said is very true. Enforcing the law is not a choice for an officer of the law. They either are law enforcement officers or they're not. Either you're going to abide by the laws that the government institutes or you are not. And if you are not, you cannot call yourself a law agency or a law officer.
Border Patrol agent, Mr. Marcos Charles, chooses to be an ICE agent, but enforcing the law, that's not a choice, that is a duty. As we all know, those laws were enacted by Congress, signed by the executive, and upheld most of the time by the judiciary. Those are the laws of our land. That is our duty to enforce those laws, whether that's a Title VIII immigration law, whether that's chasing a bank robber or a spy or whatever else. That is our duty, whether it's a state and local law enforcement agency, and they make choices also. Do they support federal law enforcement going after Mr. Jose Huerta Chuma, or do they not? We have to make choices. Our Title VIII immigration mission continues.
And I know I came on here a little bit early, guys. Anybody hopping in, I want to apologize if I started early on you. Anybody just now hopping in, and actually, you know what? We're gonna kick it a bit. I told everybody I'd be live at 5, so I'll hang out here for a bit. I am going to mute myself, and I am gonna watch some other videos while I'm waiting, see if I can't find anything else on this stuff, okay? I'll give everybody 5 minutes and then we'll start. Hello, my people. All right, it is 5 o'clock, and I told them I'd be back. Here I am. All right, guys, what we're going to do here, and sorry for those on the back end, you're going to want to jump into about I don't know, it's not giving me a time. 13 minutes. You want to jump to about 13 minutes to get to the actual beginning. Okay? All right. So we have here a video of Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino holding a press conference with ICE in Minnesota over the operation yesterday. Let's watch.
Of bodily harm, disorderly conduct. He's also got some other records there as well. This individual remains at large today. This individual is still roaming the streets today. This is the individual on that target.
Jose Huerta
that
Chumafao
engaged in yesterday
from Ecuador,
when they were disrupted, assaulted, and prevented from conducting that Title VIII mission by individuals intent on making the choice to riot, to create anarchy, and to be a violent mob. This individual walks the streets today.
Well, thank you,
Those
guys.
choices made by politicians and those perhaps weaker-minded constituents that chose to follow directions of those politicians. Sad state of affairs. Now, enforcing the law is not a choice. I choose to be a Border Patrol agent. Mr. Marcos Charles chooses to be an ICE agent, but enforcing the law, that's not a choice. That is a duty. As we all know, those laws were enacted by Congress, signed by the executive, and upheld most of the time by the judiciary. Those are the laws of our land. That is our duty to enforce those laws, whether that's a Title VIII immigration law, whether that's chasing a bank robber or a spy or whatever else. That is our duty, whether it's a state and local law enforcement agency, and they make choices also. Do they support federal law enforcement going after Mr. Jose Huerta Chuma, or do they not? We all make choices. Our Title VIII immigration mission continues. Next slide. Our Title VIII immigration mission continues unabated here in Minneapolis, despite yesterday's tragedy that was preventable by folks
From
better
Laos.
choices,
No name.
politicians, journalists,
Unknown.
and would-be anarchists and rioters. This individual from Laos was apprehended within the past 24 hours. This operation continues unabated. This is evidence of that. We will continue to make these streets a safer place. It is our duty, because we choose to be Border Patrol agents and ICE agents, to take individuals like that off the streets so we can make Minneapolis and America a safer place. Thank you.
By the way, was in federal immigration
Hold on
custody.
questions until the end. Mr. Marcos Charles will talk, and we'll take questions at the end, ma'am. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I know Commander Bovino spoke about yesterday's incident and situation, but I also want to draw your attention to the continued uptick in violence we're seeing against federal law enforcement officials.
Oh,
not just here.
1,000% increase in violence against them.
Yesterday, here in Minneapolis, a crowd of violent agitators tackled an ICE special agent when one of our special response teams went to assist. A protester literally bit off part of that agent's finger.
File your taxes 100% free in the app if you didn't file with us last year.
I guess
File
they
with
were
TurboTax
trying to take a
do it
bite out of
yourself.
crime. The wrong person. You're biting the wrong person. I'm going to get the light turned on soon.
The officer
I'll be right back. the sun's gone down, so I didn't know if I was starting to get dark or not, but I figured before it gets all the way down, I probably should turn the light on for you guys.
Received immediate medical attention on the scene and was transported to the emergency room for treatment. We do want to thank the people at the hospital for the assistance and the staff who treated our officer. The officer is recovering, but is now permanently maimed and has lost part of his finger. I don't think I have to tell you that this kind of violence is unacceptable, but I also don't think I need to tell you that this kind of violence is not a coincidence.
No, it's staged. It's being
Sanctuary
forced upon them.
Activists and the media work hard to create chaos and fear instead of using their platforms to reassure their communities. This is the result. The reality is, and this is what Commander Bovino and I have been talking about all week, we're out here to arrest dangerous criminal illegal aliens so they can't victimize innocent people in our communities anymore. Since the beginning of this
Because who
operation,
wants to be
we've
victimized?
arrested over 3,400 illegal aliens, removing criminals, gang members, and terrorists out of Minnesota communities. Detaining them
Hold on.
in the beginning of this operation, we've arrested over 3,400 illegal aliens, removing criminals, gang members, and terrorists out of
3,400.
Minnesota communities. Detaining them in ICE custody for removal from the country. Those are criminals who won't reoffend in our communities.
Correct. Because they'll be gone.
Criminals who won't be creating more victims that could be one of your family members or loved ones.
How many were killed this last year by illegals?
Some of these criminals that we arrested yesterday are on the scene, well, these are our agitators from yesterday, if anybody wants to take a picture of these people or haven't seen them yet. The first picture was the individual who decided to bite off one of our agents' fingers. Some of the criminals we arrested yesterday, 40-year-old criminal illegal alien from Honduras convicted of assault. A 51-year-old criminal illegal alien from Laos convicted of assault also. A 45-year-old criminal illegal alien from the Ukraine convicted of first-degree robbery.
See? Not just black people or
And
brown
a
people.
46-year-old criminal illegal alien from Laos who was
All the
convicted of
illegals.
facilitating
Get
child
them
sex.
all. Deport them all.
ICE officers and agents are out there every day arresting the worst of the worst so law-abiding citizens in this country and in Minnesota can sleep easy at night.
Thank
This
you.
work isn't about headlines. It's about public safety. Now take
Yeah.
your questions.
Commander Rubino.
He was previously in federal immigration custody in 2018 at a jail in Minnesota, and then was released under the Trump administration again in 2018. You talk about choice. That was also a choice to release this individual, the man that you were targeting, obviously to detain him. So if he was released in 2018 from federal immigration custody, why would that be the case? Why was that choice made?
Yeah, I don't know the particular case in 2018 that you're talking about, but this individual that we, you want to put that back up there, please? That individual is now an illegal alien. It's my mission to find this illegal alien before he harms another American citizen and does harm. That's what I'm after there. And yet we can go back and look and blame in history. Right now, my mission is to take this individual off the street. And the main point here being is this individual is in the
You missed
process
one back in 2018.
being
Why
taken
are you trying to
into
deport him
custody.
now? Well, he probably
Agitators,
snitched on somebody back in
violence,
2018.
anarchists
Is what probably happened.
prevented us from taking this individual into custody because of a very, very chaotic scene. This individual should be in custody right now, not out on the streets preying on Americans. That is the story that is most poignant here.
Commander Rubino.
Multiple videos from different angles of the shooting from yesterday, and at no point is he seen brandishing.
I'm
a
sorry,
weapon.
repeat that, please.
We have seen multiple videos from the incident yesterday from different angles, and at no point do we see Alex Preddy brandishing a weapon. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said that he was brandishing a weapon, and in the video we see him on the ground with his hands on his head We see an officer leaving what it appears to be with the weapon after he extracted it from Pretty's waist area. Did the officers see the weapon? Did they see him brandishing the weapon at him?
Sure. Many videos out there, many different accounts that you may see, that I may see, that anybody here may see. That, folks, is why we have something called an investigation, to take what you're talking about, to take those videos, to take witness statements, to take officer statements.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a
See, that's
fully
not what I saw in the
without knowing
videos
how to
yesterday.
code.
I saw a
This is
guy that was struggling with
All
police,
those-
and I saw, as he was struggling with the police, that it looked to me as if he reached for his waistband. Is what it looked like to me, is that he reached for his waistband during that interaction. And if I see that you have a gun on you from our struggle already that's been going on, and you reach like you're going for that, even if he was reaching to put his hand down on the ground, that could be misconstrued as him going for a gun. But in the video, you can hear the police say, gun, gun, gun. And that's whenever he grabs his gun. He saw him with the gun, states it 3 times to let the other officers know that this guy has a weapon. Then shots are fired. And I believe that this is one of the ways that they've been getting out of actually answering any questions on this.
Minute details that will paint a true picture, not a freeze frame, not a freeze frame concept.
And by that I meant
and paint.
the protesters and the people on the left. They're not actually answering the question of, well, what happened before? Because in the video, you can see clearly that he shoves one of the officers, and then he's struggling with a woman. I don't know if that's an officer or who it is, but he's struggling with a woman, and he's assaulting her, grabbing a hold of her, when they're trying to then detain him, and then he fights with them on the ground, up and then on the ground. He is surrounded by officers. Then you hear the officers say, and it looks to me as if he reached for his waistband. Officers say, gun, 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 draw, bang, bang, bang. So it's very clear to me from the multiple angles of video, and I can pull those up. I will do that.
A larger picture.
I will do that.
Of what really happened. That
We'll
is
play
why
that in a
we
bit.
investigate, so we can get to the truth, so there's not speculation. Speculation after 24 hours, you've got a lot of speculation in there. That officer, let's think of what...
And the scene was contaminated. They didn't even get to hold the scene. The police couldn't hold it.
24 hours to try and armchair quarterback things. That agent had a split second to make a decision.
Commander Rubino, between your agency, Commander
It's
Rubino.
not speculation.
Who's next?
Right here.
Commander, was Alex Pretty armed when he was shot?
Again, the investigation is going to uncover all those facts, things like how many shots were fired, where were the weapons located. All those facts are going to come out in the investigation. I wasn't there wrestling that assaultive subject that was assaulting Border Patrol agents. I wasn't there wrestling him myself, so I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to wait for that investigation to come. No, don't interrupt me. I'm going to wait till that investigation comes out until I make a decision there.
If there's an investigation
investigation going on, and you have not concluded. Isn't it possible this was a bad shooting? Or have you already concluded for yourself that this was justified?
I've not concluded anything. I've not given you a conclusion. But what I
So it's
do know,
possible it's a bad shooting.
what I do know is this individual was on that scene several minutes before that shooting, interfering with a lawful, legal, ethical law enforcement operation to arrest Jose Huerta Chuma. And again, it's back to choices. We just talked about choices. When someone makes the choice to come
You
into
have
an active
accountability.
law enforcement
There's this thing called accountability.
interfere, obstruct, delay, or assault law enforcement officers, and they bring a weapon to do that, that is a choice that individual made.
No,
Commander Bovino, when it comes to the shooting, from what I understand, there were 2 agents who fired shots. We know one of the agents had 8 years experience, and we know he was a less lethal instructor and had this training. What did the other agent, what was his history, and are they both working right now, or are they on administrative leave?
All agents that were involved in that scene are working, not in Minneapolis.
No one
but
was
in other
suspended because it
locations
doesn't
for their
appear
safety.
to be a
There's
bad
this thing called
shooting.
balancing, and the safety of our employees is very important to us. So we're going to keep those employees safe. As far as the number of shots, the number of agents involved, that again is going to come out in the investigation. I'm not going to speculate on who did what.
Sorry about the commercials, guys.
Basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do whatever.
If somebody wanted to,
When they did it, how they did it, or what exactly occurred there, I'm going to wait for the investigation to let
But we
me
did
know
say that one
what
of
happened.
them did have 8 years experience, so we are talking about one of the agents. Why
Yes.
not talk about the other who shot as well?
Because before those facts come out, we need to ensure that we're talking truthfully and accurately. And before I speculate, I'm going to talk truthfully and accurately.
Between your agency, Border Patrol, and Mr. Charles, your agency, ICE, we've now seen 2 separate people shot and killed by your officers within 17 days. Do either of you plan on taking any accountability for those actions?
2 suspects, or you're correct, 2 suspects have been
good
shot.
job, Dan.
And suspects that assault, delay, obstruct,
Greg.
or threaten a law
Good job,
enforcement
Greg.
officer's life. It goes back to the choices that we just talked about. When individuals make poor choices, poor decisions, come into a law enforcement situation, an active law enforcement situation, conspire to come into that situation, whether that's based on ideology, we don't know. That'll be in the investigation that we just talked about. That's what we base the split-second decisions on, and our law enforcement
And you don't know what's
officers
going to
say
happen.
They manage.
And if you're fighting with a cop
they
and you
manage
have a
to come
gun,
home at
it
the
is
end of
not
the
a good
shift.
chance that you're going to make it
And,
out of
you
there.
know, again, I would implore upon any individuals.
That's
whether they're
just the
anarchists,
reality.
Rioters,
This is a white guy that got
or
killed.
anyone else that thinks it
Doesn't
wise
matter.
to go into
There
a
is
law
no-
enforcement scene.
This isn't a colorblind society, or this
to
is a
delay,
colorblind
just to
society.
delay.
You go for a
Think
weapon,
about-
the cops are going to
let's-
kill you.
Let's think about that.
You're
for, say,
wearing a
bank
weapon
robberies in
and you
Florida.
assault an
Police are
officer,
taking care of that.
the cops are
Then
probably
you
going to kill you.
Decide to go in there and perhaps take action. That's not a good idea in any form or fashion. The same thing with Title VIII. Same thing with Title VIII enforcement. We are after an individual with a very serious criminal record. We don't need any help. Thank you.
Commander,
He said, I'm done with your nonsense. Okay, that was from the national desk, guys. Give them a thumbs up for sharing that. Now, this from Liberal Hive Mind. If you don't know him, join him. He is great. This is, I believe, about the Signal chat. Or no, that's the next video. This is about this is footage of the case. And he always cracks a bunch of jokes.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course, here's the meme of the day.
Den defending mobs, storming churches.
All right, so we got a bunch of information dropping here. Obviously,
Defending
there's so many different
pulling
camera
guns on
angles.
Leos.
Most people have been looking at the most popular clips that have been circulating online and immediately jumping to conclusions, mostly partisan conclusions. But I'm personally really not interested in that. And what I want to keep doing is analyzing all the different factors, analyzing all the different clips. I got some really interesting theories and clips to show you guys here. Let's continue analyzing from all different angles, starting off with the most wild theory yet. I'm not exactly sure is credible. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so we've got an X post here. This is from the account Finance Lancelot, and he says it's clear now what happened. The ICE agent, I believe it's a CBP agent, had disarmed the suspect who appeared to be nonviolent. At 35 seconds, the CBP agent accidentally discharged the suspect's weapon, prompting the other officers to open fire. Complete lack of communication once the suspect was disarmed. Now, I'm not going to be able to play the full clip because obviously we got to avoid the graphic content, but we can play at the 35-second time mark, and then I'll explain the theory. So you see at this moment, he takes the weapon out of the suspect's holster and then appears to kind of like whip his arm around. And what these people are theorizing is that as he was doing this motion, the suspect's firearm had an accidental discharge. The other agents surrounding, of course, already identifying that the individual was armed, then react to that alleged shot, instinctively, of course, and fire on the suspect. And now this theory, let's just say I'm not exactly buying it. I know a lot of people are in the comments section saying that this particular 9mm pistol is known for misfiring, but just analyzing visually, it doesn't seem like the gun fired. I also don't see any bullet impact on the concrete, as the weapon was aimed directly down on the road, so I'm not buying this one. I think it's probably more likely that one of the CBP agents involved here, as all the chaos was going on about this individual having a firearm, he shot defensively, perceiving a threat based on the suspect's movement, and then after that first shot rang, the rest simply followed instinctively. And now, of course, we have to analyze the rationale. The next question that arises is, what was the officer's intent? If you listen to the left, they're quick to paint the CBP officer as an evil Gestapo stormtrooper, and it was a simple execution, a murder.
Well,
the protester was on the ground.
Okay. Oh, crap, guys. I haven't had you guys watching. All right. So.
And appears to kind of like.
Right here is supposedly the gun of the protester. Now, let's say that he was already disarmed at this point. Is this still a good shooting? I don't know. I don't know. I believe so, because they don't know. If you did not know that he was disarmed and he went for where he had a gun, reasonably you would think that your life was at risk. And he's already assaulted you. So, most likely, reasonable.
Whip his arm around. And what these people are theorizing is that as he was doing this motion, the suspect's firearm had an accidental firearm. He shot defensively, perceiving a threat based on the suspect's movement.
I don't know.
And then after that first shot rang, the rest simply followed instinctively. And now, of course, we have to analyze the rationale. The next question that arises is, what was the officer's intent? If you listen to the left, they're quick to paint the CBP officer as an evil Gestapo.
It's what any reasonable person would think. Not their rationale, but what would a reasonable person, articulative person, think is happening if you know someone is armed and they are reaching towards where their weapon is located? What would any reasonable person think? That they are going for the weapon. That's what.
Stormtrooper, and it was a simple execution, a murder. The protester was on the ground. He posed no threat. He was unarmed, and all the agents knew it, and he just decided to execute him. Now, this, of course, I think is completely bogus. First off, the notion that he was an unarmed, innocent man that was simply lying down on the ground, this is obvious nonsense. We've seen multiple angles of the video where it seems to suggest that he was fighting with these officers, and at one point he pops up and his arms are moving all over the place. So from the officer's standpoint, you can very easily conclude that they thought he was armed and they were simply reacting to his movement. That's my perception, at least, and I think it's backed up here. I don't think you could make the argument that they were shooting a person that they knew was unarmed, especially not when you see new video footage like this. This just dropped. Now, this, of course, proves a couple things. The left is hyperfixated on the fact that they were searching for a weapon, but it wasn't on him, and therefore he was unarmed, and that makes this an unjustified shooting. I'm not going to argue that he didn't have the weapon on him, and you even hear the officer who disarmed the individual speaking aloud at the back where he says, "I have the gun." The left wants to focus on that, but I'm actually viewing this from a different angle. That basically shows the officer intent. This wasn't a public execution. This isn't Donald Trump's Nazi Gestapo force murdering dissenters and peaceful protesters. They were under the impression that he was armed and that he was going for the gun.
And he had
in that
been armed.
heightened threat situation, one officer felt compelled to act. There was obviously a perception of threat here. Now, whether it was 100% the proper assessment in that hectic situation, that's a different conversation to be had with 2020 vision, but there was obviously a physical threat here. There was resistance, confusion, and it was all revolving around that firearm. Kristi Noem seems to back that up.
Secretary
Yes. You just made claims that the individual posed a threat to law enforcement. I guess
that is no claim. It is the facts. The facts of the situation. This individual showed up to a law enforcement operation with a weapon and dozens of rounds of ammunition. He wasn't there to peacefully protest. He was there to perpetuate violence. And
he
was
assaulted
asked to show up and to
that
continue
officer
to resist
originally.
by a governor who's irresponsible.
Right, wrong,
and
or
has a
indifferent.
long
He'd
history of
already shown
corruption and
violence.
lying. And we won't stand for it anymore. These law enforcement officers take an oath. They get up every single day and they go out to protect the public.
Absolutely, and she isn't wrong, especially relating to this individual showing up armed. First of all, I'm seeing a lot of people point to the fact that, he's a licensed firearm owner. Well, I don't think that's the cop-out to carry a pistol, to carry a handgun, open or concealed.
The law, under Minnesota law, you must obtain a permit to carry a handgun in public. The law does not require that you conceal the weapon. If you have a permit to carry, you don't need to obtain a permit to purchase to obtain a firearm. To obtain a permit to carry, fill out a permit to carry application and submit it to the sheriff's office. Subsection 1B, display or permit penalty. The holder of a permit to carry must have the permit card and driver's license, state identification card, or other government-issued photo identification in immediate possession at all times when carrying a pistol. It must display the permit card and identification document upon lawful demand by a peace officer as defined in Section 628.84, Subdivision 1. A violation of this paragraph is a petty misdemeanor for the first offense fine of $25, not exceeding. Notwithstanding Section 609.531, a firearm carried in violation of this paragraph is not subject to forfeiture.
In public. Both are legal with permit. The permit is a physical card issued by the county sheriff. You must have your permit card with you when carrying a firearm. But this individual showed up with a weapon with 2 packed magazines, and as we understand, according to the feds, he had no identification on him. This is not, and then did everything in his power to create a situation that was perceived as a, but the perception, I think, is clear here.
Yeah, well, thank you, Liberal Hive Mind. So, go follow him, guys. He's a really good dude. So this is live footage, supposedly, from CNN of what's going on right now up there. And we'll come right back to this. Although it does look like it's getting pretty action-packed right now. Let's see. Can't hardly hear it, can you guys? Is that better? They did not use water cannons. Bull crap. That's got to be illegal in -10 degrees. There's no way they use water cannons. -10 up there.
You all right? I was standing here. You all right? You just stood in behind. So relax.
Introducing the Score Bet. For Sunday, Monday, or any day that ends in Y. We're with you every game.
I feel like... Yeah, this is from yesterday, guys. Okay, this isn't live. This is what was happening yesterday. I apologize. I thought that was... Now, this is something I found, and this from Matt Morse. Love Matt Morse. I couldn't find where he found it from Cam Higbee. So we're going to jump in. I'm not trying to steal
independent
content,
journalist by the name of Cam Higbee has just, I kid you not, infiltrated a left-wing Signal group chat, private group chat, in which members of the far left in the Minneapolis area
this is breaking,
have been tracking, monitoring, and obstructing federal law enforcement operations during their ongoing deportations. And the amount of information that has just been exposed by nature of infiltrating this far left Signal chat is frankly absolutely astounding. These far left radicals are, one, very organized. It's going to blow your socks off. And two, there's a lot of them. Hundreds on here. Now, like I said, this is independent journalist Cam Higbee.
Yeah. So he has infiltrated organizational sign-up groups all around Minneapolis with sole intention of tracking down federal agents and impeding, assaulting, and obstructing them. Yeah. And it gets wild. Their Signal chat, he says that they're filled all the time with 1,000, up to 1,000 people, 100 people on calls and shit. Pardon my language. I'll let Matt Morse talk.
He infiltrated the Signal chat. Take a look at this. He says, I have infiltrated organizational Signal chat groups all around Minneapolis who have the sole intention of tracking down federal agents and impeding, assaulting, and obstructing federal law enforcement officers. Buckle up. All of this is going to be revealed. Each area of the city has a Signal or several Signal chats. Let's start with a screen recording of all the members of the South Side group chat to kick things off. Take a look at this. Put this up on the big screen. Ladies and gentlemen, all of the names. And this goes on for 30 seconds. Look at this. People are using their real names, first name, oftentimes first name, last name. And now we've got more investigative journalists digging into this, saying, wait a minute, I know that guy. Wait a minute, that guy works here. This is that guy. He works in the school board. He's a part of city council, whatever, etc. It just goes on and on. There's hundreds, perhaps thousands of them. And this is just one Signal chat for one part of the city.
Insurrection.
This is only one neighborhood of the city.
Insurrection Act.
Cam Higbee goes on. I have been undercover inside of these group chats for days. You're going to notice emojis next to the people's names. Here's a key for what those emojis mean. The highlighted positions are the most crucial. Most are self-explanatory. Mobile patrols spend their entire shift searching for suspicious ICE vehicles.
Okay, so hold on.
When they find one, they...
Think about this. Okay, so they are hunting down federal agents. This is an insurgency. This is like what the guys in Iraq felt. they're being hunted by these people. They've been shot at. There's already been down in Texas, that one guy, he attacked that bus. This isn't isolated. None of this is isolated. It's all working together.
Send it to the group chat so that the plate checkers can compare with their database and see if it's a known federal vehicle or if the patrol can make the confirmation that the database can be updated. So this is shocking. Ladies and gentlemen, what this means is that people inside of these far left groups, in these Signal group chats,
are working in the government.
Some of them are working inside the government because they have access to license plate databases. Because it begs the question, how exactly are they checking the license plates? They have access to the license plate databases. A random person can't do that. I can't go check some license plate database. They're in the government. They are in the government.
This is an
Dispatch runs a maxed out call all day telling protesters where exactly ICE has been spotted and how they can best be impeded. Here's a photo. Unvetted chat while on a shift, please put emoji in front of your Signal name so we know your role and location. Mobile patrol, stationary patrol, foot patrol, dispatch, hyperlocal group messenger, school/transport safety spotters, license plate checker, medic, aftercare provider. They all have special roles, special functions. All right, guys, I'm patrolling on foot. Well, I'm in my car driving around. This is insane, and now the lid has been blown off. It goes on. For each occupation or shift position, protesters have to undergo training. It's unclear what that training entails, other than numerous slides of instructions. I've seen it mentioned repeatedly. Who is paying for all of this? It almost looks like a training.
So these people are working directly together with government officials. This is seditious conspiracy at the highest levels. The governor in Minnesota and the people working with him, including the congresswoman who are working with him, are working a seditious conspiracy. This is like 1860 all over again. It's crazy.
They've got almost like a PDF or a PowerPoint presentation that you've got to work through to go through your training. And they're all talking about their training here. Now, by the way, I actually have some of the training material. I'm going to show you. I was able to find this on my own. I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute, but hold that thought. Cam Higby goes on to say,
Jen's been acting weird since we started using Monday.com. I'm almost certain it's imposter syndrome, which is...
Excuse me. Each chat for a specific part of the city has smaller districts broken up within it called, quote, patrol zones, which guide the ICE chasers on where they should be or position. They have the entire city mapped out. All right, guys, I'm doing
This is like a military plan. This seems like this is being funded by Robert, Singham. Mr. Singham. Roy Singham. This is a military plan. They're zoned into sections. This has got somebody with intelligence orchestrating this. This is not some half-baked plan. These people are educated and they have a plan. And what they're doing is insurrection.
Foot patrol in zone 2A. All right, I'm doing a car patrol in zone 4B. This is highly coordinated. Sharing our Bloomington patrol zone map, which is loosely based on city council districts. You want to talk about RICO? You want to talk about a RICO case?
No,
I
bro.
think we've got it. You listen. All of these
talk
people.
about RICO for these people.
It gets worse though. You guys have seen nothing yet. We're gonna keep going here. Here is a screen recording of their license plate database as well as a link to its instructions. What do we have here? Full screen this. docs.proton.me is the website. Access the data. ICE plate search. The tool linked above is the recommended option for quickly looking up license plates. It accesses the Minneapolis ICE plate dataset along with plate datasets from other sources.
They've hacked it.
Shocking. They have instructions and material on how to check all of this stuff, how to quickly scan the plates. Confirmed ICE, masked or uniformed ICE agents seen in the vehicle. Highly suspected ICE. They've got different threat levels. Confirmed ICE, highly suspected ICE, suspected ICE, and cleared not ICE. Unknown, the unknown category. And so they are categorizing all of the license plates they can into a massive license plate database.
What is going on? They're trying to figure out
Here is a
who's who in
screenshot
their town
of the
before
active
they open
dispatch
it up.
call. It's always active, as well as a shift change. You can see folks are changing their emojis, clocking in and clocking out. Clocking into work, clocking out of work. Look at this. Moody changed their profile name to Plate Moody. Now Moody is monitoring plates. This individual changed their name, so they're changing their emojis depending on what their job is. They're clocking in, clocking out, so you know exactly how many license plate observers you have, how many foot patrollers you have.
White Chevy Silverado with the newly changed plates with the coexist sticker on the back. We're on Irving and Lake Street, going north on Irving.
So he's here listening to this is their 24/7 dispatch call.
We seem to be the only commuters following. Just wanted to give an update on our location. Thank you. Do you have anyone in the car with you? Yes, I do.
So this goes on 24 hours.
Check something, guys. I just want to see if anybody's actually jumped in here. I was watching. No, not yet. That's all right. I am. Doesn't change what I'm doing. I'll be doing this anyways, watching this.
Today, I'll play another snippet.
Hopefully other people will get to see.
If you live in an Illinois zip code and have zero DUIs in the last 5 years,
that we can expose what they are actually doing.
5 observers are
They're
on
lying
there.
about all this.
KM, I'll probably have
This
you
is
stay on that
active
F-150.
insurrection. They're
But
trying
anyone
to
else who's
stoke
on
a
this call that is
rebellion.
currently on that F-150, I think we could use our resources and energy better.
This is insane. You want to talk about insurrection? You want to talk about insurrection? You want to talk about, dare I say, far left domestic terrorists doing every single thing they can to undermine ongoing federal law enforcement operations? Insurrection. Just wait until you hear some of these names that are involved in this. I haven't even read that to you guys yet. He posts
Now we're
more
talking
recordings of them tailing vehicles, tracking vehicles. A new group chat for each zone is made every single day. The chats are dated and then deleted at the end of the day to delete the evidence.
Crazy.
This is likely to avoid
That is
detection,
insane.
record keeping, and consequences. By midday, the group chat
If
hit
you're not
maximum
hacked in
capacity,
already,
1,000
each day,
people
you won't have the
allowed by
information
signal,
against them.
and people who are not chasing federal agents are asked to leave to create room for more people who are actively tracking federal agents. Thousands. In just one little area. The dispatch calls also reach maximum capacity constantly. It's believed it's 50 people maximum, 50 people per voice call, which means at any given moment, any given time in each small zone, there are 50 people in a voice chat chasing federal agents. This quasi-police force uses a system called Salute.
Coming up
which calls out the size of federal units, activity, locations, uniforms, times, and
If it wasn't
locations.
so cold, it'd be breaking off right now.
They then instruct their ICE chasers to follow and confront ICE agents at their known locations. So they're compelling people to go and confront, get involved, get up in their face, get your body in between, get your car in between, block traffic. They are everywhere, and local police are cooperating. Here, an observer
betraying your brothers and sisters. But were they actually ever their brothers and sisters? Or is this some of the Sharia police from Minneapolis? Is this some of the Muslim police from Minneapolis that are the ones that are on here assisting them? Remember, they put Islam first on their police badge and the flag of that town.
Calls out a possible agent, but says she's just out walking her dog, so she can't continue on. Dispatch called for backup. Also below is a message indicating that local PD may get involved if ICE, quote, hinders public safety. The police called back and said ICE has jurisdiction and to call them back if they hinder public safety. So they're talking to the police every step of the way. Potentially even working directly. I don't know. Is it possible they've gotten members of the Minneapolis Police Department in these calls, helping to subvert ongoing federal law enforcement operations? Think so. I think so.
I think I'm going to have to make my own X account. So
These thugs apparently have a home base,
find my own stuff on
though I
there.
haven't been able to identify it. Here's an ICE chaser indicating that he is expected to return to home base. Look at this. Heading east on foot. Home base is expecting me. Home base is expecting me.
It'd be nice if we could find out where that home
Probably
base
the
is,
damn
isn't it?
Safari restaurant. That's where they operated that that Feeding Our Future scam out of. Here are chasers discussing what should be done after realizing they positively identified my vehicle as ICE, but then found out that it was Cam Higbee. I believe this person might be the aggressive individual in the second photo. So they discovered that Cam Higbee had infiltrated them. He's got more dispatch audio. Oh, let's listen to this one here. Take a listen.
The person that just asked for a plate check a minute ago that said 218 AF.
Yeah, it's a white Chevy truck, pickup truck.
Thank you. If you can get documentation, video, or photos of that plate on that car, we can document. Thank you.
All right, yep, getting that for you.
Update on the corner of 32nd and
sticker.
Update on the corner of 32nd and 15th. This Kia, Massachusetts. Folks are whistling at this. It looks like this is a confirmed ICE vehicle. The men inside appear to be ICE.
The men inside appear to be ICE, and you can hear the crazy unhinged whistling in the background. The protesters use a, quote, mutual aid system.
This is crazy.
I tried to join the mutual aid system for Bloomington.
Do in this country? What are we going to do? Are we going to stand together and get rid of these illegals who have been leeching off our system and attacking our people and hurting our people so that we can make a more prosperous America for everyone, so that we can expand and become a better, bigger country? Or are we going to fight each other? It's going to cost the American economy a lot of money if we fight each other. I don't think that anybody wants that. It'll make us go broke. It's almost everybody in America. 60% at least. Or one paycheck from losing their house. One missed paycheck from having zero money in the bank. So, at least that's what it was a year ago. I don't want any ill will for any American. But we have to protect Americans.
An admin told me that it was a vetted chat for teachers. It's a vetted chat for teachers, and that I would need to describe my relationship to a school. Are you a teacher, a principal, a counselor? And then give his real name. So they've got teachers, Minneapolis teachers, members, working in the academic system. Part of this, he wouldn't do that, so he couldn't make it into that group chat. ICE chasers, the operations last all night. The dispatch call is 24/7.
Look at how tough they think they are. Wolf pack. Should say coyotes. Chicken shits.
These are messages screenshotted at 2 a.m. asking for observers at a location with potential illegals. It's from a vetted chat called Wolfpack. The Wolfpack. They're asking for backup. We need more observers. We need more chasers.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
The coordinators frequently delete messages to cover their own tracks. This is another layer of security on top of the daily chat.
Yeah, this is just too much for them doing.
Yesterday, here in Minneapolis, a crowd.
That's the same one. Now, I did a video earlier about children being abducted from Greenland. And I think that it did pretty good. It actually got more views than this, for sure. But I found another video about another scandal Denmark did in Greenland. And I'm probably going to do another video on it. Coming up. I'm probably going to stay offline for about a half hour. Be back on at 6:30, guys. I hope that gives you guys the perspective, or a perspective, my perspective on how close we are to complete inability to come back. We cannot lose the unity that we have. We are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. See you guys soon.